Welcome to the Mission Impossible Fan Club podcast, brought to you by Tom Cruise and his wild, wacky stunts with inflatable arms and tube men everywhere. Just kidding! Lift up the mask, pull the mask off. Oh, it was me, Paul Simon, the whole time.
You mean Simon Pegg.
And it was me, Paul Thomas Anderson. And it was me. What's the real name of the guy that I'm thinking of?
Simon
Seymour
Pegg.
Hoffman. No, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, Philip
That's
Seymour
what I'm trying
Hoffman
to
from
think of.
3. Yeah.
Man, that was a lot of masks to pull off to get there. And
Under
then
that,
boom,
big Rames.
I'm one of your hosts, Chad Michael Innes. And we've got here our regular host, Adam Gumbert.
Hey, it's me. I've got two jokey meme things I could do in the intro. Which one do you want? All right, I'm going to give you both.
Yes, please.
Say wait a minute. Chad, we're just normal men.
I don't know what to do.
We're just innocent men. Oh, it's so good. Brian mentioned it in the chat, and it's very good. It's actually the background image of my Twitter. And the second one was going to be, oh yeah, I'm praying, and deliver us from finish it from evil. Aunt May from Spider-Man War or Spider-Man 1. Jesus fuck.
You can
Spider-Man.
You can tell that I don't understand your reference because he said normal men and I replied with hooch pretzel.
Yeah, you did say who's from.
Then you said
What do you
innocent
mean
men.
normal men? What is
this
men?
from?
Yeah, I will send you the link. It's a lady, a British woman, talking to a puppet. And it's like a kid's show. They're like doing like an interstitial, like talking. And he looks at her and he said, and the puppet looks at the woman. He's like, we're just normal men. And she looks at him. She's like, what do you mean normal men? He said, we're just innocent men. And she fucking snorts.
Is this the fucking, like, they break character all the time and he just says, improvs a bunch of random shit? I've seen clips of that little puppet before. I like those.
Like, we're just normal men. We're just innocent men. And she almost explodes whenever he says that. It's a very good clip. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you right now.
Send it to me right now. I'm not going to look at it because if I open up the text part of Discord right now, then your face goes fucked all over the frame.
Can I text it to you?
You can text it to me. Let me open up messages and see if that fucks everything in the mouth.
Continue
in
with
the
the show,
meantime,
Chad.
I'll say this is Respawning Fire, the Kick-Ass Irrelevant Gaming Podcast. Irrelevant. Kick-Ass Irreverent Gaming Podcast brought to you by Affable Idiots. We go live most Sundays at 8:30 Eastern Time on twitch.tv/AffableIdiots, but you can always catch us super late on Tuesday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. Podcast services. Still waiting for this text.
Give me a second, bro.
Adam Michael Gumbert.
Copy link.
While you're doing that, I will say a little bit. It's hot as fuck in a lot of places all over the world right now. You can see on my face. You can kind of see it in this. It's much more prevalent over Discord than in this OBS, but you can kind of see it. I have.
You're burned.
I'm feeling very Levi right now. And if you don't know what that means, you have your inside jokes with Manly Brian. I have my inside jokes. Levi is the son of Bernie Sanders. I'm feeling very Sun Bernie right now.
Oh.
Get it?
Bernie's son. Okay. How about this one, Chad? Finish it from evil. Do you know that one?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna click on this link here though. We're just oh yeah, this gross looking fucking. We're gonna switch over. Hold on. I'm gonna open
You're gonna switch over?
I'm gonna copy this link.
God, this is exciting.
Going to
make sure the audio's in there for the podcast people because they'll laugh at the
audio.
audio.
Will probably be in there. Maybe not for the podcast people. We'll see.
Edit it in.
So we're going to this. Hold on, I need to hit pause on this, and then we're gonna switch over to the 3+ pics view.
What is normal men?
I love this so much.
What do you mean, normal men? We're just innocent men.
And that fucking music.
And his mouth's all off to the side.
Right.
We're playing for HTQ a little bit later on. So if you'd like to play HTQ, email C with me.
Remind me in 2 hours to put the audio into the video.
Oh, you do it.
All right, that's good enough. Great. Excellent. I'm glad we went on that journey together.
Man, I love that clip.
All right. So you're gonna stare at that screenshot now for the rest of this time until we get
fine
to
with
Game on
it.
Game Show instead of Levi Sanders' name.
Works for me.
That's it. That's it for our podcast, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in.
We've
Wait,
had
we do
fun,
have a couple
kids.
of things to talk about. We're gonna start today with our main quest. The deal is done. What is that from? Don't know. Probably because I just did it right now myself in a weird voice. Could be from something else. This comes from Tom Warren at the Vergie. Favorite person from Black Eyed Peas. Sony has agreed to a 10-year deal for Call of Duty with Microsoft to keep the franchise on PlayStation after the proposed Activision Blizzard acquisition. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer says Sony and Microsoft have agreed to a binding agreement to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. This ends a bitter battle between the companies that has been waged both privately and publicly over the past year after Microsoft announced its proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard in January 2022. While Microsoft's initial announcement doesn't mean 10 years for Call of Duty on PlayStation, Kari Perez, head of the global communications at Xbox, confirmed the 10-year commitment to The Verge. Yes. Perez later confirmed to The Verge that the deal is only for Call of Duty, though, and not for all other properties. Microsoft's original deal offer to Sony in January 2022 included keeping, quote, all existing Activision console titles on Sony, including future versions of Call of Duty franchise or any other current Activision franchise on Sony through December 31st, 2027. The deal terms have clearly changed since the opening offer, with an extension to 10 years that's limited to just Call of Duty. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
After the FTC couldn't get its agenda through the courts, this deal is as good as done, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as it goes through this thingy in the UK and it's going to close, I think it's, what is it, like a matter of hours or days or something like that?
I think like
it's gonna
19th
close.
was like the latest.
Yeah.
So it might be done by the time the podcast comes out, but we're
Yep.
just, like I've said this, it's in the note, but not here. But again, this has been going on for a while. I didn't want to just report on like something every week because that's boring to be like, oh, Korea said it's fine. Like, that's boring. I don't want to do that. But now that it's like assumedly actually done, when Sony was like, sure, that's like, okay, well, now it's actually done and good. So that's why I was like, all right, finally we can talk about it. But yeah, there's again, read that article from The Verge. Tom Warren has been breaking this down the whole time, and it's like 17 pages long if you want to just read everything that's happened the whole time.
What are your thoughts on this deal, this PlayStation deal?
I mean, it sounds fine, right? That seems like what everyone else is getting. I'm shocked that I could understand. Well, I understand why they didn't want to do a deal in 2022 because they were trying to make it not happen at all. So they weren't going to take any deal. But then, I mean, I guess they kept saying Call of Duty is the only thing that mattered. I'm shocked that they don't care about the other stuff. It's not saying it can't go there, but I'm shocked that they wouldn't protect themselves and be like, we would like that other stuff. They only care about Call of Duty, which is interesting to me. But I mean, everyone took the deal, so it literally was like the deal was fine. They, if you go through all the emails and whatever, the emails, it seemed like it's fine or whatever. But 10 years is what everyone's getting, and
yeah, there was something that came out during the trial that like showed a breakdown that Call of Duty was like a significant double-digit. I don't remember what it was specifically, but a significant double-digit percentage of PlayStation's revenue each year.
It was like 800 million last year for Call of Duty for PlayStation.
Exactly, yeah. So I assume that this is why they were freaking out specifically over this game. So this is probably the most that they were worried about. I am a little bummed, though, that it's just Call of Duty, because that now leaves in limbo, like, future Diablo expansions, or, a lot of Blizzard stuff. Is Overwatch going to continue to be? I mean, it would be very smart of Microsoft to do that, but they're not contractually obligated to anymore.
Well, it would be that thing you assume any game that's already released, those deals are done. Like we saw that with like Deathloop and all that stuff. Like the deal's done.
Yeah. But there are probably future seasons or future expansion. Like they just announced. I don't follow Overwatch that closely, but like they just announced that like there's a single player. Like you have to pay for some extra content to get single player stuff in Overwatch. All of that Blizzard stuff, all those Activision titles, Crash Bandicooter, just like that. All of that stuff could in the future legally be just on Microsoft stuff. So I don't know. Again, this, just like Bethesda, is something that I don't play a ton of these games anyway from Activision or from Blizzard. I obviously play Diablo, but just like not a ton of that stuff. So I don't really. It's not going to affect me in my gaming habits, but there's a lot of people who do, obviously, which is why they were so valuable and why Microsoft wanted to snatch them up. But again, I think it's in Microsoft's best interest monetarily wise, because obviously they admitted during the trial, they're like, yeah, we fucking lost this console war this generation, and we're no longer focused on consoles because we would lose big old big old bucks if that's how we wanted to put all our eggs in that basket. Hopefully, it just means that this is more clout for Microsoft to put Game Pass on PlayStation, or just Switch, or
be like
everywhere and.
Or just do what they do in Minecraft and just make the profit off that. Like, yeah, we'll do $800 million on PlayStation. We'll take 30% of that.
Yep.
Of your life.
Cool. 10 years. So that's like, it's like, what, 10 Call of Duty games?
Probably. Normally it would be. Yeah, you would assume.
Yep. Maybe 12. Right now, though, here's the thing. Microsoft was talking about how they're very interested in putting Call of Duty on Nintendo. So like we could get like really terrible watered down versions on Nintendo Switch that also, I guess, legally have to come to PlayStation, right? The shitty versions, dude. Just kidding.
Yeah, you know, my guess will be that everything will be the same for basically every consumer. It's not going to change for you at all. Like, it shouldn't matter who makes money on the back end. And then Switch will get a version that's either cloud or a bad version. It'll probably just be the mobile version, you would assume. But then Switch people can play that.
Are there mobile versions of
it's Call of
each
Duty
release?
Mobile.
I know there's Call of Duty Mobile.
Well,
but is there like Infinity, whatever the fuck, Advanced Warfare, Modern Warfare, Cyber Warfare, Cyber Sex? Like, is there?
But let me tell you, I only play Marvel Snap as a mobile game. Every other mobile game was garbage, so I couldn't tell you that. But I assume no.
Okay. You would play Turtles if you had that Turtles Hades game.
Yeah, you're absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong.
All right, well, that's it. That's all that's ever going to happen between Microsoft and Activision and Blizzard and PlayStation for the rest of our lives. Before we move
Never have
on,
to talk about it again.
I just want to answer mainly Brian in the chat. Yeah, dog, this is a Dew Spark. 0 sugar, no sugar, with a blast of raspberry lemonade and flavored with other natural flavors. Adam over here has a Baja Blast 0 sugar hard Mountain Dew.
It's still super hard.
30 of those left in my fridge from Christmas.
We've got about 6 left. Also, Smitty, we see you in the chat. Pee poo poo and Xbox sucks.
Yeah.
Both are noted.
Both are noted. Thank you for your contributions. They will be considered. All right, let's move on to playtime where we talk about what we played this week. Adam, you're playing old shit.
I did. No, I actually really haven't done anything. Again, I'm just waiting. I did buy a hard drive so I could play Baldur's Gate 3 better when it comes out.
Nice. Some of that Prime Day stuff?
Yeah, I got an SSD. Because I have an
you're
SSD.
Playing on PC, right? Oh,
yeah.
duh. Yeah, it's not coming to Xbox right away.
No, or PlayStation right away. But I have an I just bought another external SSD. Yeah. Because my SSD, my computer is actually not that big. It's only like 200 gigs. So it's like, I'm getting another one for games and stuff. But then I did. Battlefield 2042, just playing around, messing around, whatever. I feel like shooting some stuff. But then the main thing I did, of course, you saw Mission Impossible. You understood from our breathy intro that we watched that movie. Saw that movie in IMAX. And I noticed you mentioned something.
Yeah.
It's not an IMAX movie. There's no IMAX scenes.
Which is fucking... First of all, Fallout had sequences that were shot in IMAX. So like you can see that in full ratio.
Like the entire ending. Yeah.
And this one, I went to go see Avatar 2, The Way of Water, Electric Boogaloo in December in IMAX. And before that, there's like a 5-minute featurette about this fucking motorcycle stunt that we've seen 1,000 times in commercials. And that whole featurette was in IMAX. And then Tom Cruise is getting his little sandy vagina in a wad talking about how all cranky and stuff, saying, how dare you, Christopher Nolan, take all the IMAX theaters for 3 fucking weeks so that Mission Impossible only has 1 week in IMAX. And I'm over here saying, sir, I saw your movie in IMAX and it wasn't in IMAX. So what the fuck do you care? You just want the extra ticket price.
Yeah, I was shocked because I've seen... Like we mentioned last week, the last movie I saw in IMAX was Fantastic Beasts 2, which did not use the full screen, but I was like, all right, whatever, we're here, we're seeing a big screen. But yeah, I was shocked that there was no IMAX shots. But again, I still like the movie. It's a really, really nice screen. You know what's weird about my IMAX theater?
What?
Like the theater I went to it's on the IMAX website, so like it's a real IMAX theater. Like it's official.
Not like RPX or something like
No,
that.
it is a real ass IMAX theater, and the seats are garbage. I swear they feel like they're 10 years old. They're like weird, like the footrest.
Yeah.
You know, like a Lazy Boy where it's like mechanical and like you push it down and it pops up and it's like the little thin pieces of metal attaching. That's what it was. I was like, why are these seats so old? Like the leather was all warped and stuff. I was not happy, but I just moved to the next seat over. So that's weird, but it's real IMAX, I guess. But no, fun movie. It's in my top half of Mission Impossible movies,
which are all very great, by the way, except for number 2.
Yeah, number 2 is the only dud. Everything else,
they are all.
we
binged them while I was in Rhode Island. It's just like, God damn, this is banger after banger after banger. I barely
It's
know.
so rare to see somebody get better as they get older, and like that's exactly what Mission Impossible is. They're like, all right, let's get after 3.
Speaking of
Seymour
getting
Hoffman
older,
takes it off.
Yeah. Speaking of getting older, I'm sure you saw the same thing I did, where Tom Cruise and the director of the movie that no one else recognized goes, "Thank you for coming to see our movie in theaters." You know, that thing that everyone does now since COVID. And god damn, he looks so much older IRL than he does in the movie. Woo!
Because a 60-year-old man.
When we were watching these movies, when we were binging these movies, we got to like Mission Impossible 3, and I said that Tom Cruise looks exactly like Tom Cruise today, 30 years later. And Matt was like, absolutely. The guy, like, he hit that age and he hasn't aged a day. And then I saw them in this little "thank you for coming to our movie," and I was like, whoa. It's like you just looked at the painting of yourself Dorian Gray style and aged all at once.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoo.
Well, you know what happens is that whenever he's filming a movie, he puts on his own Mission Impossible mask, which is just a slightly younger Tom Cruise. Yeah, that's how it works.
Here's another.
No,
I was actually about to spoil something in the movie. I'm not going to spoil anything in the movie. Afterwards, I have a question for you. That I'm sure you had. No, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Will remind me about that. And then the next thing I do is watch What We Do in the Shadows. It's back, baby. 2 episodes up on Hulu right now. Having fun with those vampires.
Good episodes. Be good episodes.
I know.
Of blood.
Chad said in the Twitter notification for this, he said, "What's your favorite cop?" My favorite cop is the cop from episode 2, their buddy from high school. That they handcuff his feet together and take his car. I love that guy. He's great. Favorite cop in media.
Yep. Yeah, very good show. Go watch
What We Do in the
Shadows.
Guillermo. Good stuff.
Cool. I also watched Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is the Midderpo at the bottom there. Yep. Here's another one that I feel like is not getting as much attention: Joyride, which is JR right above it, Junior, aka Levi, aka Joe Biden, not Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders' son. Joyride. This movie, Adam, is fucking hysterical. It is all your favorite Asian women going to China, having a good ass time.
Oh, is Awkwafina in it?
Raunchy. Awkwafina was not in it.
Oh, well, that's my favorite.
Okay. But what's her face from
Canadian.
Everything Everywhere All at Once? The daughter from that movie.
Oh, the daughter. Okay. Oh, she's very good.
Yeah, she's very, very good. It was just incredible. Like the trailer, I was like, haha, okay. And they show a lot of the funny moments in the trailer, but then there's just like the funny moment extends past what they show in the trailer, and it's just like even funnier when you see it in the movie, and you're like, oh, haha, that's the thing from the trailer. Holy shit, they did something extra I didn't expect. Ha ha ha, nipples hard, crying with tears, laughter, etc. It is also a very raunchy sexual movie, so make sure that you go in prepared for that. Wear a condom.
Just protect yourself.
Yes.
You know what I do love is whenever we get these comedies that are like, it's a group of, so there was I think it's called Girls Trip. It's like Tiffany Haddish's like first like big movie, where it's just like, hey, here's a group of, black women, Asian women, Hangover. It's like white men. It's like this group of weirdos hang out and go on a fucked up road trip. And that's my favorite kind of comedy. I absolutely love it.
It's fantastic. Go see it. I also like literally cried sad tears too. And I was just like, fuck this movie for making me feel feelings. It was great. Fantastic. Beat Saber, baby. Adding my high scores up there. Going back and I'm trying to get the trophy. So I'm going through I went through the whole Linkin Park album on hard mode so I could get the S rank on the hard mode and the flawless hard mode. Now I'm doing a bunch of stuff on expert, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Manly Bright, no, sorry. Joyride does not have PP in it, but it does have P. That's it. Your audio podcast didn't break. We just took a moment of silence to address it. So, yeah, playing Beat Saber, adding high scores. I want more people to like look at their scores. Right now, I only see Joel in there every once in a while. I see Audrey in there every once in a while. If you're playing Beat Saber and we're not friends yet, add me on PlayStation at Chad Mike Innis, INNIS. I want some scores. I want to see some people. I want to know how good I am compared to everyone else in the world. Because right now I'm number 4 in the world on BTS's Dynamite. Speaking of BTS, go see Joyride. They're heavily featured as not the band BTS, but their fan bases.
Gross.
In a very funny way. And then also, can't remember which Linkin Park song it is, but I'm number 7 in the world at that right now too. So,
is it the one that ends every movie perfectly?
No, that's the Transformers one you're thinking of, right?
Yeah, the What I've Done. Yeah.
No. Anyway, played Beat Saber, and then I am hardcore trucking through Final Fantasy 16, Adam. Loving it. Right now, I am still consistently surprised by it, consistently overwhelmed with joy while playing it. There's this great new thing I kind of just recently noticed on PlayStation 5. Obviously, as you hover over the game on your main menu screen, on the bottom right, you'll see like how many hours you've put into it. But as you're playing a game with a campaign in it, it'll also have a little flag to tell you how far you are in the percentage of the way through the story. So it tells me I'm 55% of the way through the story, which is, I was like, oh, cool. Now I know kind of exactly where I am in reference to everything. Having a grand old time. Loving it. Papa John's. That's it. That's all I played.
Very nice. Man, we're about to run out of stuff to play, aren't we? Like, we had a mad dash between movies and games for like the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And now there's not much. Like, once you finish Final Fantasy, what are you going to do?
There's fucking nothing. No,
Give up on
still
yourself.
got to play Moonlighter. Still got to play. I'm going to go back and play Final Fantasy VII Remastered. I'm going to play Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion, Electric Boogaloo. I'm going to play all these things. No, mainly Brian, I have not played Moonlighter yet. It is downloaded, but I have not played it yet. But that is our barf game.
I've played it, Brian. I got a question for you, Chad.
Yeah.
Tell
me your question, and I might provide you with an answer.
Okay, so we love Alex. Alex is great, but Alex isn't here, so we can make fun of him, right?
Yeah. Also, did you notice? I don't know if you weren't watching the stream. I'm gonna switch over to the 3 view here with that weird animal again. Alex isn't here, and I didn't create an overlay for just the 2 of us with like something else on the screen, and so I just replaced. All Canadians look alike, so I just replaced him with a picture of Ryan
That's
Reynolds.
why he's
no
there.
one's gonna know the difference. So.
I noticed he was there. I just didn't know why he was there, but now it makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're right, Brian. I don't make fun when he's in here. So again, Alex is great. He's over there in Europe doing his thing. So we do know though he's a little nerd, right? He likes Kingdom Hearts, and I don't understand why any human being would like that series, but he does, right?
Yeah.
You're so close to being one of those people. You're like, I'm going to play Final Fantasy this, Theater Rhythm, Master Pixel, da-da-da-da-da. Why don't you just be a Kingdom Hearts nerd? Like, you're already there.
Here's the thing, because the fucking Disney Goof Troop Mickey Mouse Club are fucking baby-ass baby characters, and I don't give a shit about any of that Princess, Disney, Alice in Wonderland goddamn shit. Nope.
But everything else is exactly the same as Final Fantasy, though. Like, it literally is just a Final Fantasy.
People, and if it's like, oh, cool, Keyblade and Darkness, sure. But like, you're going to go follow the rabbit into Alice in Wonderland, and then you're going to go make the... And it's always telling the same ass stories that we've already seen in the movies 1,000 times, except for worse. And truncated, here's Tarzan, we're jumping through the trees, and we're skating on the things, and we're swinging from the vines. Oh, there's exactly a princess there. And we go to another one. Oh, there's a princess here. And it's like, you go to the next town. Oh, get in your gummy ship to get through here. Boom, boom, boom. Blast the asteroids, too. Oh, there's a princess hiding in here.
What if I changed the word princess with crystal? Then how would you feel?
Oh, dude, yeah, fuck that? Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, then
you tell me I can chase a little fucking talking rabbit into another dimension where everything is suddenly huge and there's a crystal I have to get? Yes!
Final Fantasy for you. My last thing is watching the Final Fantasy VII Part 2 trailer. Why is Scar in the party?
It's Red 13. He's an experiment. People experiment on him.
He looks like Scar.
He does kind of look like Scar.
He looks exactly like Scar. The same color and everything. Yeah. He's just a red lion.
When I played the original game, he was my like mage character. He's fierce.
I'm just saying, you're one like bad day away from being a Kingdom Hearts nerd. That's all I'm saying.
Nah. Pass. 0 out of 10. Quest log. We've got 2 quests here, all related to Naughty Dog's Potty Wog. The Last of Us getting another release? What? Ryan Leston at IGN says this. The Last of Us Part 2 may be getting a new, enhanced release, according to the series composer Gustavo Santaolalla. During an interview with Blender, Santaolalla teased his cameo appearance in The Last of Us Part 2 will be expanded upon in new editions of the game. Quote, in new editions, you can make me play certain themes, and, well, I can't tell you anything else, he said. This is far from an official announcement, however, as it's the first we've heard of any new edition since The Last of Us Part 2. It's perhaps likely the popular sequel will be heading to PC like its predecessor, though the game so far only exists on PlayStation 4, so a PlayStation 5 version could be in the works too. Oh, I did not think about that last sentence there, that it's probably the PC release. Because here's where my brain went, Adam. I said, okay. First of all, I constantly have to remind myself that beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous masterpiece was a PS4 game and not a PS5 game. It always blows my mind every time I remember that fact. Second, it got an update for PlayStation 5. So it has better visuals, it has higher frame rate, it has like enhancements already if you play the PS4 game on your PS5. And so I was like, and then they remade Part 1 in the engine and with all those same enhancements for PS5. So I was like, if they release literally just a PS5 SKU of it so that it's wrapped in a PS5 name, like there's nothing else about the game to change. Like what else can they update without automatically making Part 1 out of date already? I was like, so I have no idea what a remake or a re-release of this would be, if it's extra. I don't know what it would be. But now seeing, oh, that's right, it's not on PC yet, and PlayStation is continuing to support putting their games on PC several years after launch. So like this might be part of what we're getting.
The thing for me is, why are there new additions, right? Because you think about Last of Us Part 1, there were, like some quality of life stuff, but it's the same game. There wasn't like new content, right?
Right.
And maybe it's just maybe this is like the only thing that's different, but whenever it says, you can ask him to play certain themes and he can't say anything else, that feels like new content. Well, again, I don't know how in depth that new content would be, but I don't know. Does that feel more, I don't know, like more involved than just like, oh, it's the better version now running in this engine? Or is it just like the one thing that they're doing?
I wonder if it's like I don't know, whether it's as part of the PC release, you have access to the library of music from it that you can play on demand, and like certain things that he wrote like 8 bars of music for this one particular fight, and then it's like, oh, well, now I need an expanded version of that for the bonus content in the extras menu or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. But again,
that'd be cool to see more places though. Because you said there's is it a PS4 Pro version or is it a PS5 version of the game?
It is a PS5 version. So specifically, you have to have the PS4 version loaded on your PS5 hard drive in order to get the advancements.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Speaking of The Last of Us, people liked The Last of Us show, says Tom Ican.
Nope. You know what it's supposed to be.
Tom Ivan? There we go, from VGC. The Last of Us has received 24 nominations for the 75th Emmy Awards. That's just 3 short of the front runner for this year's ceremony. Fellow HBO show Succession, which is up for 27 awards in its 4th and final season, having previously won 13 Emmys. Here are the nominations for The Last of Us. They include, but are not limited, to Outstanding Drama Series, Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for Pedro Pascal as Joel, Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series for Bella Ramsey as Ellie. Among the nominations it received in the Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series category were Murray Bartlett as Frank and Nick Offerman as Bill as well. It is so good, Adam. We know. We know the game is amazing. We know the show is amazing. It was faithful. It is just so good to see that the rest of the normies out there in the world who could not give 2 fucks about video games recognize that, yes, this was an incredible show and a great adaptation and all of that as well. So very happy to see all of this.
You know, the thing when reading this story, there's one more part of this I'm going to pop up just for myself, because they were also talked about the show behind that, White Lotus, got 23. Ted Lasso had 21, which were the shows that were behind that. So, again, there's the actors and writers strike going on right now. Studios heads are garbage, CEOs are garbage, whatever. I kind of get, so they made a list of like the most highest paid CEOs of the last 5 years, right? And number one was the Warner Brothers guy. He had like $500 million in the last 5 years, or some ridiculous salary. And I don't agree with it. That's too much money for one person, especially for someone. Again, he's running a business, but like that's a lot more money than everyone else is making. But HBO does put out bangers, and I guess technically he is the head of HBO. Again, fuck that dude. He has too much money, but HBO does. That is the powerhouse. The fact that like The Last of Us was as good as it was and could probably not win a lot of awards because Succession is like just that good as well, and like Succession just sweep everything is wild to me that they just put out just like amazing content like on the regular. HBO has always done that, and it's just wild to see that they still do it. They're like, what about a show about Fox? All right, we'll do 3 seasons of that. What a show about a video game with zombies. What a show about, I've never seen White Lotus. Isn't it like horny people at a hotel?
Horny people, bad people, lots of great intrigue in White Lotus. Both seasons.
They can do whatever they want. HBO just puts out bangers, man. So that's good to see that we're going to keep getting more Last of Us and stuff from them. Because it'll keep being high quality. That
Warner Bros. Guy is also responsible for the upcoming Blue Beetle. He's also responsible for Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald and Dumbledore's Donger, or whatever the third one was called. Or
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Still made $500 million though. Doesn't matter.
Andy Bryan says, Adam said Succession the way I say Worcestershire sauce.
How did I say Succession?
I don't know.
Succession. I might have said it like Succession.
That's it for the news. And we're going to now...
I will say...
Oh, wait, yes.
We're not going to remember this because it's fine. And I don't know the full dominations. But I will say, I think Pedro and Bella absolutely carried that entirety of that show, like... basically by themselves. Like I feel like they are absolutely the best parts of it, as well as Nick Offerman should win everything that he's put up for it because he's great. So I hope at least one of those 3 actors wins an award because that would be really cool because they're all very good.
Also, like Succession is fucking fantastic, but also they have their 13 Emmys. Like
but they can get 15.
Yeah, but listen, that last season was great. It's fantastic, but also like they were a little extra. They were a little extra in that season. And so Last of Us was, they were just perfect. So,
what about Ted Lasso though? No love for my boy?
Oh, Ted Lasso is always so fucking good too. Yeah. Speaking of, as long as we're just listing great things too, go watch Dave on Hulu and go watch The fucking Bear. Go watch The Bear season 2.
Yeah.
Such good shit. So
watch What We Do in the Shadows while you're at it. That should also be winning Emmys.
Yeah. We're going to move on now and go to our segment from Adam. Final Fantasy VII winning music. Actually, it's a lot of Final Fantasy winning music. It's not just 7. So
it's probably in Kingdom Hearts as well. All right, this week we're going to play, ignore the name, don't worry about it, Three's Company, Degrees of Kevin Bacon meets LRG.
Okay.
It's nonsense. Chad, I'm going to tell you right now.
Group, or Let's Ruck and Go.
It's actually... Limited Run Games. Limited Run Games recently had a showcase. There's a whole bunch of games that haven't been out in a long time, and they're like, hey, we're bringing back remasters, we're doing this. So we're going to go Three's Company, because you're going to have to do 3 things.
Okay.
The Kevin Bacon, because these are things that are related to another thing. This is madness. Adam is like drunk on a Sunday.
I fucking love that. Like I read this title and I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm glad you got it.
We just get each other.
It's very simple. All right. So again, when we talk about things from the Limited Run Showcase, I'm going to take Chad on a journey, and if you can follow along, good. If you can't, watch the video of the normal men. Watch it again. You'll enjoy yourself. All right. First off, we got Castlevania Advanced was announced that they're doing physical versions of that. So, speaking of Castlevania was a original game, came out in 1986. You fight vampires and fight Dracula, and we've played it for Barf, actually. One of the characters in the Castlevania Advanced Collection might be a Belmont. Chad, can you name 3 Belmonts for me?
Simon Belmont.
You got one. Now, a question. What game is Simon Belmont in?
Simon Belmont comes from Castlevania 2.
Simon Belmont, it doesn't say on this page. Don't worry about it. I was just asking a question.
Great.
Give me another Belmont, Chad.
Richter Belmont.
Richter, that is correct. I believe. Did you name the ones that were in Smash Brothers? Was that the ones you just named?
Is Richter? Yes, I guess Richter's in Smash Brothers. He was the one. He was the one in the Japanese only game, and then he came in the Symphony of the Night collection. That's the prequel. Rondo of Blood. That was the one he was from.
Oh, okay.
And then
Give me one more.
There's
game,
Lady
for Three's
Belmont.
Company.
There's the girl Belmont.
Give a name. There's actually. I'm looking at this list. There's a lot of Belmonts.
There are lots of Belmonts. Yeah. Yes, in that whole freaking series. There's Laura Belmont.
You want to lock in Laura Belmont as your last Belmont on your Three's Company?
Sarah Belmont. Sarah Laura Belmont. It's one of those Southern names. Sarah, like Laura Ann or Mary Catherine or like Katie May or something like. It's one of those Southern two names. Yeah.
I will say that you did get 2 of them, so I'll give you that.
Okay.
There are some, I'm assuming, Lady Belmonts in here. I have a Soleil, Solil. I don't know. I didn't play this video game. There's a Simon. There's a Leon. There's a Trevor Belmont. There's a Zoe and Dolores Belmont. A Sid Belmont. A Desmond Belmont. A lot
I
of
feel
Belmont
like Zoe's
kids.
the one that we ran into in one of these games.
Possibly.
If Zoe's from, I feel like Zoe's from Symphony of the Night. Zoe Belmont. What game is she from?
Here we go.
Specifically from the series Castlevania. I'm not interested in any other ones. Castlevania Order of Shadows. Nope, I was wrong.
Absolutely incorrect. No word. You did pretty good. I'll give it to you. You got 3's companied. All right. Next up, that was announced at Limited Run Games, Worcestershire. That's just for Brian. Gargoyles. Classic TV show came out when we were a kid.
Oh, yeah.
There were some, was it Genesis and Super Nintendo, I believe, is what the original game was released on. That game, the music, was composed by a young gentleman named Michael Giacchino.
Oh, yes, it was.
Very, very cool. Michael Giacchino, we know now, very famous composer. I want you to do, oh boy, this is a Three's Company. Tell me what he's directed. Tell me a movie franchise that he is composed for, and tell me a video game that he's composed for.
Oh, God.
That's not Gargoyles, of course.
Oh, God. Okay, well, he composed the music for Up, so that takes care of the movie.
Okay. You know that for sure?
Yes.
It's right there. You're right.
Something he's directed, and then a video game that he's done, right? I know he did the music for Lost. Did he do the music for the Lost video game?
I will give you another guess as I look through that, because I'm not entirely sure if he did. Here's a good guess. Gargoyles, a Disney property that had a game that came out on Genesis and Super Nintendo. What would maybe be another Disney video game that came out around the same time?
DuckTales is going to be my guess.
Maybe.
Because he didn't do the music for Lion King. He didn't do the music for Aladdin.
Sure about that?
I'm sorry. Are you saying that he did the music for Lion King?
Giacchino's composition work for Disney Interactive included the 16-bit era, including the Sega Genesis game Gargoyles, the SNES game Maui, Mallard, and Cold Shadow, and the various console versions of The Lion King.
So I guess he did. What? I mean, okay. So the music from The Lion King,
the video game,
the movie, they made versions. He adapted those songs. That doesn't count. That's
you
not
still got
art.
it. You still got it right.
Okay.
Take the points I'm giving you. Jesus
and then
Christ.
The movie that he directed. Jesus, I know it's something in the last 3 or 4 years that was big. That I was like, oh, Michael Giacchino directed that.
I'll give you a hint. It's a streaming exclusive. Came exclusively to a streaming service.
Shot in the Dark, Prey?
Prey?
The Predator movie?
No.
No.
It was Marvel Studios' Werewolf by Night.
Oh, fuck.
Because he had the dude with the tuba with the fire on it. Because Michael Giacchino's a crazy man.
Dude with the tuba with the fire on it.
I was just looking through his filmography and his documentary. This dude just does everything. Like, he's amazing. Michael Giacchino. Shout out to him. You did good enough, Chad. I'll give it to you. Next up on Three's Company degree of Kevin Bacon meets LRG, Worcestershire. There's a Jurassic Park collection coming from...
Ooh, nice.
From Searchment from Chadman. There's a Jurassic Park collection, right? Jurassic Park, the original game, came out on NES, where you walked around Isla Nublar, fought the dinosaurs, shot them with a gun or whatever. In that game, you played a man called Docton. Nope, not Docton. Dr. Alan Grant.
Okay.
Maybe based on the man from the movie. The man from the movie was played by Sam Neill.
Right.
I want you to name me 2 of the 3 video game credits Sam Neill has.
Oh my God. Sam Neill video game credits. I feel like he probably, before he did this most recent Jurassic World movie, he obviously did that one because they're like, we're going to give you a shit ton of money to come back. And he's just like, I guess I do need money, which is why I did this video game recently. So now I got to figure out what video game is that. And that game is...
He does have 3 credits. I only need 2 from you. But remember 3, that's the game of the game. But you can give me 2 and you'll win.
He did various animal noises for Cult of the Lamb.
No, incorrect. I'll give you another try.
Okay. He played Kevin Spacey's character in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare from space.
No, it is not. I will say, because I'm looking at his filmography, I seen 2019, he was on Rick and Morty as Monogatron Leader. All right. But no, he played Dr. Alan Grant in Lego Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Evolution, and Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Oh my God. That was just like freaking... It was right there. Low hang. I was thinking in my brain, I was like, Jurassic World Evolution.
Should have said it. That's all right. It's all good. You've got one more because the internet was strangely horny for this. Three's Company degrees of Kevin Bacon meets LRG. The last game, Gex. Everyone, Gex is coming back.
Yeah.
Some 90s kids were excited for some reason. I never played the game, but I remember the ads in the magazines. He looked pretty cool.
I did not play it.
Gex was a game from the 90s. One of the programmers on that game was a man named Evan Wells. Evan Wells previously worked at another studio and went on to work at other famous studios. He worked at Sega before he worked on Gex. And then after he worked on Gex, he went to Naughty Dog. Can you name me a couple games that this man worked on between Sega before Gex was made and Naughty Dog after Gex was made? 3 would be the number I'm looking for.
Okay.
If you can get the Sega one, I'll let you win automatically, but you won't get it.
No, I won't. Hold on. Did he work on Phantasy Star 4? At Sega?
No, he did not.
Okay. Then we are gonna go with Jack and Daxter.
By the way, this man, Evan Wells I'm talking about, is the guy who literally just just quit Naughty Dog because he was the president, and this guy just left. So that's why this is important. This man.
So Jack and Daxter.
Yep. Do you have the full title?
2.
Yes, you're correct. There's one of them. There's one of your 3.
I literally just read his statement too, where he's like, "It's been all the points of my life have mapped to something at Naughty Dog." Where it's like, I had my baby at this one, and
I am looking for him when he was a designer. So just keep that in mind. When we get to later Naughty Dog, he's maybe not a designer anymore.
Okay,
but Jack 2 is absolutely on that list.
We're also gonna go with Sega Bass Rally Fishing.
No, incorrect.
Nope. Okay. I really want to get this Sega one now. I'm trying to dig in, what are these backlog of Sega games?
I doubt you're gonna. Even when I say it, you'll be like, I would have never guessed that if I had to assume.
I know that he worked on the original Uncharted, but I don't know whether he was a designer on that game. So we're going to say Jak 3.
Oh, Jak 3 is another one. I need one more from you.
Yep. And then
You
we're
gave
gonna
me
say,
Jak 2, Jak 3, and you said Jak 1, but maybe that's not the full title.
No, that one is definitely Jak and Daxter Legacy Collection.
Precursor Legacy.
Precursor
I'll give
Legacy,
it to
that's
you.
what it is, yeah.
I'll give it to you, absolutely. Whenever Jak X Combat Racing came out is when he became co-president, and then that was all the Uncharted's up until he just recently retired.
Yep.
The Sega game that he was a lead tester and level design on was Toe Jam and Earl and Panic on Funkatron.
Yeah. Those games, Toe Jam and Earl and Earthworm Jim, to me, are two games that share the same bit of data in my brain.
Yeah.
And that bit of data is something that I've never wanted to explore.
Absolutely. But you did pretty good. I'll give it to you, Chad. You did pretty good on Three's Company Degrees of Kevin Bacon Meets LRG.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Thank you. That's it for segment from Adam. We've got Game On Game Show. The Game On Game Show, we play a game called Game On, the gaming show on a game show, game. Adam, do you know the Muffin Man?
Oh, Jinx, show me a Coke.
2 days ago, actually, maybe it was yesterday. It was one of the days in the last couple days.
Yeah.
Was the 40th anniversary of the Nintendo Entertainment System's Japan counterpart, the Famicom.
Oh, okay.
And so for our Game on Game show today, we are going to play this quiz that I found on a website called zoo.com.
All right, let's go.
The quiz says that took me by surprise. I did not expect zoo.com to have this quiz about NES game screenshots.
You love this website.
Do I? Do I?
Yeah, I think it's like the second time you've used them. Yeah.
Okay. So 90%, according to the name of this article, it says 90% of people can't name these original NES games from these screenshots. Can you? Now, Adam, would you believe me if I told you that zoo.com is just absolutely filled with ads and super broken?
I love it.
So here's what I've done. We are in what we call reader view on Mac OS. So it is just showing me text and images, which means the quiz is not interactive. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna make our best guess at these screenshots. And then I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna fill in the answers, not in reader view, and see how many we got correct.
Okay.
I don't know. I have not looked at these screenshots. I do not know what these are necessarily. So we're doing this together. So we have to agree on whatever the whatever the game is. So apparently 90% of people can't name these original NES games from the screenshots. Can you? About this quiz, skip. Okay. So here's this to make this fun for audio listeners too. I want us to take turns describing the image that we see.
Oh
here.
yeah.
So Adam, will you describe what we're looking at here, the screenshot?
This is a 2D image, as probably a lot of these will be.
Probably.
There's a man on the left with looks like a green belt in karate, approaching two dancing men on the right wearing blue pants and a purple vest. Like maybe he's about to fight them. Maybe he has some sort of martial arts prowess. There's some kind of
It could be confused with dancing too. Like that guy's like up on his tippy toes like this, and the other guy's like doing the samba.
It looks like you're a man who's going to fight the other men. On the 2D screen is what it really looks like to me.
If you look at the top of it, there's a player, there's like a weird looking redheaded person with a 2 next to it, and then there's like a Chinese dragon head with a 0 next to it as well. So like
Now I can see underneath the picture there's a multiple choice. Am I supposed to be able to see that?
So yes. So these are the answers that this could be, and whenever we go back and fill in the quiz, this is what we'll do. So, which NES game is this? Is this Kung Fu? Is this Batman the video game? Is this DuckTales? Or is this Mega Man?
This is going to be one of those internet clues where it's like 90% of people, and then you do it like, okay, and they're like, you're a genius. But it's like simple context clues could probably get you really far.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that the man with the green belt looking like he's going to fight the other men in some sort of Asian-inspired location is probably Kung Fu.
I'm going to guess it's also Kung Fu, but I also wouldn't be surprised if this was like Bruce Wayne learning karate from frickin' Ra's al Ghul. That's his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes time to vote, we'll do Kung Fu. All right, This next one
Oh, I know what this is.
This one is, you're looking at a big open green pasture peppered with trees. There's also out on the horizon, you can see 3 big old titties that are probably, for the sake of this game, mountains. They're green as well, darker green. And then we've got little white UFOs floating around. We've got a big UFO coming down to abduct somebody. There are no people, but I assume it's a UFO coming down to abduct somebody closer to Earth. And then there's a little tinier one up in the sky. They could also be clouds. They're white orbs. Which NES game is this? Is this Duck Hunt, Ninja Gaiden, Contra, or River City Ransom?
I know the answer to this one.
I am 100% sure this is Duck Hunt.
Yeah, there was the game where you shot the ducks and the dog laughed at you, and then there was a second mode which was you shoot clay pigeons. And I remember I would used to get like 2 inches away from the
that's what these are,
TV.
the clay pigeons.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would get 2 inches away from the TV with the gun and just like hit all my shots because I was literally putting the gun on the TV screen. It was wonderful.
All right, we'll answer that in a second, find if we were correct. Oh, there's an ad for some kind of coffee. Okay. Describe this image that we see here.
It looks like what they would put on the side of a McDonald's cup in the 90s. It's got like completely blue background. That's an interesting word. Blue background. It's got squiggles that are supposed to be like it's water. There's clouds in the air, and then looks like Florida. It's an island shape with the mountains and trees and stuff on it. Looks like a little treasure map that you would see for Treasure Planet when it was like the toy for McDonald's that month, but not space themed, just normal Earth themed.
So is this Adventure Island 2, Vice, Project Doom, Rygar, or RBI Baseball?
See, the funny thing is I've only actually heard of RBI Baseball, and you would assume it's Adventure Island 2 because it is literally a picture of an island.
Yeah.
But I actually do not know. It could be any of those 3.
I assume Vice probably has to do with some kind of law enforcement, right? Which I don't think would be part of this game. And Rygar was Matthew Smith's character from House of the Dragon, so I don't think that's part of this either. So I'm gonna say you're right with Adventure Island 2.
Also, have these all been A? Have all of these choices been the first one?
Maybe. Yep.
Yeah, maybe so.
Oh, probably not for this. Okay, so in this one, we've got 8 circuit boards. And
Yep, that's what they are.
the bottom of each circuit board is an NES controller. There's 4 circle boards across the top that say run, and there's a row across the bottom that says pass. And then these are blurry, but the columns are Bentel, Hunter, Bentel. These look like probably plays you would make in a football game, maybe, for footballmen.
Yeah.
Is this Bubble Bobble, Crystalis, Castlevania, or Tecmo Super Bowl? This will be, I think, the first one that's not A. This is not Bubble Bobble.
Yeah, it seems like the first one. But I will say you do love crystals, so I'm shocked you don't want to go with Crystalis.
Oh, yeah. Although, I don't know if you know this, but like Chrysalis is like the husk
That's
of
from the butterflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not into that. So, we're going to assume this is Tecmo Super Bowl. Sorry, I dropped a piece of plastic on the ground, and I don't want Atreus to get it, so I'm like weirdly shifting in my chair to get it with my foot. Okay. Wonder what this could be.
We see Scrooge McDuck straight in the middle of the screen. He looks like he's walking through a metal hallway. There's windows and a flying red alien above him. But it's definitely Scrooge McDuck from
Definitely
the classic.
flying red alien, yep.
Yeah, and he's definitely, I don't know what it's supposed to be. And we know he likes to jump in piles of money. So that's what Scrooge McDuck is all about.
You think that is beside him? You think that's money? Looks like it might just be like a croissant.
Honestly, outside of Scrooge McDuck, this all looks like nonsense to me.
It kind of does,
tell you
like, what is this fucking flying octopus next, like, with some square poop clouds under it?
You don't remember
like,
that episode of Darkwing Duck when they go visit Scrooge McDuck and his alien squid friend?
You're right. I remember that exactly. Is this Excite Bike? Is this DuckTales, Final Fantasy II, or Kirby's Adventure?
Yeah, it was DuckTales.
Yeah,
Again,
DuckTales.
I hate these things. We're like,
come on,
90%. What's there, Chad?
All right, so we've got a screenshot. Here's the fun thing. It looks like somebody grabbed this from like a from an actual YouTube video talking about Capcom games because
Yeah,
there's a
it's set in the
slight
background.
overlay.
There's a watermark.
There's a slight overlay as it's transitioning and dissolving out of the box art from this game into the screenshot for this game. So we have this, this typical Southern California suburban home architecture with ladders on the side of everything.
That's what that
some
is.
green brick. There is a big slinky on the left-hand side stacked vertically. And there is a license plate above this little blue man's head that reads 0003500. Is this Mega Man? Is this Mother? Is this Tetris? Or is this Super Mario Bros? It's Mega Man.
I believe that is the Mega Man.
That is the
Especially
Mega Man.
the watermarked background transition and told us, it's Mega Man.
Okay, so this one I don't actually recognize, but I think we can use process of elimination. But go ahead, Adam, and describe what we're looking at.
It's completely blue. It's a platformer that is just nothing ever. The background is blue. The platforms are blue. And there's a man with purple hair and a white coat.
That's about as much as I can make out, too, except for that floating candy above his head.
Yeah, whatever that's supposed to be. Yeah. That's all I can explain. That's all it is. It's blue and there's a man with purple hair.
A masked Keaton in the chat recognizes it.
Ooh.
Is this Final Fantasy, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Super Mario Bros. 2, or Little Nemo the Dream Master?
I would like to punch this dude like it was Punch-Out because he looks like a dummy, but I would have to guess from context clues. Little Nemo Dream Master.
I think I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one.
That hurts my eyes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the contrast of some of these colors and then the repeating fine patterns. So we've got a big, giant, rectangular block of chainmail at the top. And then and then on the right third of the screen is just one big, giant green pasture of grass. There's a lot of brick pathways, like cobblestone streets, with trees that are smaller than the people all around. There's a door, there's an inn, there's a little man manning the inn, and there is a person with some horned helmet and a shield at his side talking to a townsperson. Is this, and the contrast is just of the blue on the green on the orange with no outline on these characters and the green and the yellow, it looks like Link on freaking Zelda. Anyway, Life Force, Kung Fu, Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos, or Dragon Warrior. Played this game on the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh, did you?
Via this hack that you could download a bunch of ROMs, burn them to a CD. I guess it was a GD back for a Dreamcast, and you could play whatever you want on an emulator on your Dreamcast. Anyway, yeah, this is Dragon Warrior.
Is it? I would assume Dragon Warrior based on the fact that there are warriors in the picture.
Yeah,
but I actually legitimately would not have an actual clue just because I never played Dragon Quest or Warrior, so I really don't know much about it.
And this is that. This is Dragon Warrior on NES. I don't know. I feel like we've got one or two more to go. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe we could do one
are we
more.
seeing here?
All right. This one, they look like they're in some kind of Egyptian tomb. There's rock wall formations with intricate purple lining in it. There's some little platforms and little dogs jumping around. What are these, dog monsters? There's something jumping around.
Little furry armadillos.
Yeah, and there's a character in the bottom left. I can't really see him super well. I think it's someone wearing purple, but the top of the screen does say the word ninja.
It does.
Above the word enemy. So that might help me out a lot.
So is this Ninja Gaiden, Kid Icarus, Duck Hunt, or Tetris? Come on. Fucking zoo.com.
It's an awful website. Again, context clues. I'm going to say Ninja Gaiden. I don't think I've actually played the old school one. I think the first Ninja Gaiden I played was the one that was the super hard, the remake.
Same, yeah.
Ninja
Gaiden
Black
Black
and
on
stuff.
Xbox
Black and Sigma. Oh, yeah. That's the first. I never played the old ones, but yeah.
All right. We are looking at... Oh, God, this is also difficult to look at. All of these intricate textures on here. We're looking at least a 3-story building right now. Again, lots of ladders. People love ladders when they're ascending instead of stairs or anything like that. Blue windows, this beautiful blue drippy roof up top. And a pelican person in the middle? Someone with a beak? Or someone with like a bandana wrapped. I can't tell if that's like they're wearing white and they have a bandana wrapped around their face, covering their nose and their mouth, or whether that is a bird person.
Mm-hmm.
But our choices are Boy and His Blob, Trouble on Blobolonia, Adventure Island 2, Duck Hunt, or Ghosts and Goblins.
So, luckily, they apparently only had a list of 20 games because they've repeated Adventure Island 2 and Duck Hunt about 3 times.
Yeah.
We know
And
it's not
not
those two.
Yep.
So, Boy and His Blob or Ghost and Goblins. And honestly, from this picture, there's nothing. It's literally just like platforms and ladders and windows, and there's nothing else in this picture.
Here's what I'm gonna do. At the top
But
left
I don't
of the
see
picture,
a blob.
Time. The word time is in like a spooky, ghosty font.
Oh, okay.
And that's what's going to lean towards Ghosts and Goblins for me.
Yeah, because there's no ghosts or goblins, but there's also not any blobs. So the time being spooky is the best guess we have.
Yep.
So Ghosts and Goblins. All right.
All right. Oh, that is a wicked vagina.
Are we doing this? Is this the last one?
I think this is the last one. Nope,
Okay.
there's one more after this.
Oh, there's one more. Okay, this one is there's a man running at the bottom of the screen, and in the middle, like Chad said, it looks like some kind of Gothic architecture, like a weird gate made out of stone and organic pieces of gold. But there's a big hole in the middle, and it definitely looks like human body part orifice. So yeah, that's what it looks like.
Is this Batman the video game, Tecmo Super Bowl, Contra, or DuckTales?
Again, these clues, man. I think that man looks like the Contra Man.
Yeah, I'm going to say because this man is shirtless, it's either Contra, or maybe this is Batman at the bottom of the well fighting the bats after his parents die. I don't know. But yeah, I think you're right, Contra. All right. God, didn't this thing say Ted? Oh my God, there are so many.
There's way too many.
We're gonna do one last one, and then we're gonna just assume we got them all right.
We got them all right. Yeah.
All right, this one, there are 2 porta potties with bills on top. Two porta potties with bells on top. There's a Mega Man city in the background, and there are some fluffy looking bushes that I would love to land in if I were in the movie The Other Guys. Next to a big old concrete wall, and then there's the dad from American Dad at the bottom of the screen, and then a rake on the bottom right corner. Is this River City Ransom, Mega Man, Star Tropics, or Jackal?
I think this one is actually, we've been having fun. I think I've known basically all the other ones. This one, it's not Mega Man. I know what River City Ransom is. I know what Star Tropics is. I don't know what Jackal is, but I also couldn't tell you what any of those games look like if you just threw this picture at me and say which one is it from.
River City Ransom is, I think, a beat 'em up, right?
Yeah.
And this looks like I could go pick up that rake, and it has like some depth to it, different lanes that it would be a beat 'em up. So I'm gonna guess River City Ransom.
But what's Jackal? I'm just curious what Jackal is as a video game.
Let's find out. What is cheating. Jackal, the video game?
Oh, here it is. Brian is live.
NES, not the one from the Family Guy.
I can't believe you actually type this all in every time.
Pictionary.
This is wild to see. And Jackal, it gives you answers.
It does, yeah. And then there's the Pictionary sketch from Family Guy that I referenced. Jackal. Is it a Jackal? It wasn't Jackal the first 10 times. Why would it be fucking Jackal the second? Also distributed under the title Top Gunner is an overhead run and gun video game. Let's look at the images. The Family Guy comes up with it too. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that was not Jackal.
Okay.
Great. Good to know.
Hey, Chad, can we go back to the Normal Men video real quick as we exit out of the game of this Game on Game show?
Spoilers. That was going to be our usual sign off.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Then we'll do it. Save it for then.
In fact,
we didn't say that.
Now that we're here, I'm gonna rewind this.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to our 2-person view. Thanks. That's it for Game on Game Show. We got 100%. We're smarter than 90% of the people in the world. D. Smitty Games said he played the shit out of Jackal. He's also 90 years old, so. That makes sense.
Leave that man alone. Thanks for Keaton and mainly Brian and Smitty keeping us honest in the chat, because I think we got 100% because we're pretty good at video games.
We definitely did. Here's our homework. That's it for RAF 316. Here's your homework. Go to patreon.com/respawn-aim-fire. Vote on barf games for the month. What's this month? Moonlighter, you say? What? The light of the moon turns the vampires into dust and the werewolves into men? What?
Spooky scary.
Yeah, spooky scary. Go play Moonlighter. It is our barf game backlog accomplishment, the Respawn and Friends that you all voted on. We're going to talk about that game probably early August. If you would like to be on the show and talk to us about your experience with Moonlighter, call the Moonlighter hotline and we'll answer it live on the show and listen to your. No, just let us know and we'll have you on the show. You can also just, if you're shy and you just want to write us an email or DM us your thoughts, you can do that too. Respawnandfire@gmail.com or Twitter DM us. Rafferty Part 2 is up right now for everyone in the world, but there is a game show that everyone doesn't have access to that only a handful of people do. So if you are a patron over at patreon.com/respawningfire, you can watch our first episode of Pitch Perfect, which is our debatable style show where Adam and I both have a teammate and we try to pitch Alex on an Xbox themed theme park or a PlayStation theme. Excuse me. Oh my God, I'm burping in the middle of all these sentences. Good? Yeah, I might throw up. Okay. So yeah, we pitch. It's a pitch show. It's full of, Trevor and I are on the same team, so it's lots of screaming and loudness. And then Adam and Mike, Misfit Rolls is on it too. It's a great time. So go to patreon.com/respawningfire, throw us a buck, and you get access to that for the rest of the month. There will be another one coming in August. And then everyone will get access to that for free on August 1st, too. Okay, that's it, right?
Yeah. Oh, I will say, I'll Miss It Rolls finale is now up on podcast services and YouTube. I still listen to the podcast version because I edited some music into it. But that series finale is done. I've been talking about it for fucking 3 months, but we're finally done. So I'll Miss It Rolls is completed. Series campaign 1 is completely done. And I will say, I did not make any Austin 316 jokes, even though it's RAF episode 316. So I'm going to beat myself up over that.
Is that a Bible verse?
316, well, yeah, from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. The wrestler said, I just kicked your ass. So we'll celebrate that as well.
Well, thank you for all of that extra stuff. With that, Adam, we're going to transition into our usual sign off.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
Innocent men.